are, ladies and gentlemen. This is a revolutionary day in the history of Summoners War YouTube. Well, at least it is for my channel. And however many... Hello everyone, it's me. We are back on Josh's account. As I've previously mentioned, I gave a little trailer to what's about to happen. So yes, I've tallied top 100 last season, ranked 40 something, but now I've degraded myself and I'm playing on a fighter level account. And I think this is going to be actually really nice because we are just going to recap right now. This is a specifically RTA oriented guide, so let me give you guys some pointers first before we get into some matches of what I think you should be doing in the early game. So if we take a look at Josh's account overall, I think I should show you guys his overall profile page just so that everyone can get an idea of around the progression level that this account is at. And yeah, so far it's managed to get most of the PvE teams done, but as far as PvP goes, it hasn't really branched out into too many competitive areas. And I realized that a lot of Summoners War players are in that same area. So I think the first thing you should do if you're one of those players is first create a realistic selection of units. You don't want to have too much and overwhelm yourself with a bunch of options. You don't want to thin out your rune depth by giving it to too many things. Focus it down to, I would say, about this amount. It looks good. And just make sure you're forcing your best runes, like this Bernard for instance. It has to be on one of the fastest Swift sets, Bastet as well. It doesn't have artifacts though, because it's not a 6-star. I was like, wait a minute for a second. Jean, we got 104 speed on the Violent set. I think this has to be one of the best sets on this account by far as Violent goes. So that is definitely a unit that we gotta pick, right? Because our meta is different from the top G3 level players and whatnot. Like you look at Carcano, you don't see people picking him anywhere in the best RTA rankings. But guess what? You have to be doing it as long as it makes sense within the draft. I think that's really just about it. As far as like setting yourself up for the matches go, it just all comes down to setting a vision of the type of units that you actually plan on using and just focusing everything on them. So now I'll give you guys a little bit more of a hands-on approach to what you should be doing in RTA with these limited resources in the lower ranks. I have never played an account like this in many years of playing, or at least it's been a long time since I've been on an account like that. So I am just gonna have to think of it in a very elementary level. What I mean by that is if I see an Oliver, I am gonna have to counter it by thinking, okay, you know what? I need some fire units here that Oliver's gonna struggle to deal with. And a perfect example of that is gonna be Kaki. It's on Will Runes as well, so it's absolutely beautiful for the purpose I'm looking at. Carcano is not on Will Runes, but okay, you know what? I was gonna be like, okay, let's pick Carcano, but I don't like picking two same elements in one draft line. So please try to pick different elements so that you don't have one clear weakness. And it seems like we're getting quite outmatched though. We have an LD 5-star with the Masha here. Fortunately, Masha sucks into water, so what I think I can do is shove Vigor here. Oh, but Vigor's kind of scary into Celia, because Celia does remove beneficial effects. You have to keep thinking of it like that. If I pick this unit, how does it interact with the enemy? I am quite out of time right now. Let's go for Jean and Vigor. So now, we need to already start thinking of our bans as well. We know Celia is going to be problematic against my Vigor and Wusa and whatnot. Chompong, this guy is just...
You've done this.
I'm trying to make a beginner series, but this guy is not a beginner. Chompong and more, it's just hard to deal with if you don't outspeed. I'll tell you that right now. So I'm here for the pain right now. I'm here to join along with you guys on the painful aspect of this game. But Vertihau, logically, it counters Chompong. So now at least I can let the Chompong through. We have 2 fire here. I feel like Oliver is maybe too much control to deal with. But at the same time, I feel like if I just ban Masha, he doesn't have damage. I'm gonna go with that because I really want my Kaki and everything to survive. I don't want them dying. For the leader skill, we're just gonna check out our accuracy, and we only have 15%. Man, but I believe in resist leader because we're getting outsped. So if you're getting outsped, you may not even get a chance to use your skills. So we need to keep thinking of what's actually relevant to the match. And here, we're just going with Resist Leader because we want to try to get some good luck and hope that he doesn't get his debuffs on round number 1. So this whole match is dependent on how hard can Kaki carry. And we already knew that coming into draft. Okay, fortunately this guy is autoing. So Josh told me before I got on that this is quite popular. But even if he's autoing, we can actually still show the thoughts behind drafting. So I think it's fine. Let's go for Death Break onto Celia, because I think Celia is definitely one of the biggest problems on that lineup, given that we have Kaki here, and Kaki can deal with pretty much everything else on that team. So the second this guy trolled by pressing auto, basically our plan worked out where we got that turn 2 without getting completely destroyed. And we still have the chance for Kaki to carry. Right now, I'm just trying to get the point across to you guys. Had I not drawn this out and thought already from the beginning, okay, Kaki is going to be my carry and I know he can do it against this type of draft. And had I not also banned the Masha for that purpose, we wouldn't even had a shot because this guy beat our account quality by a mile. This guy beat our account quality by a mile. I'm trying to make a beginner series, but this guy is not a beginner. So now, we are following along the same logic of Kaki trying to carry this. I'm gonna buff invincibility for Kaki, and we're just gonna go all in onto Moore, because Moore is the one unit that can deal with Kaki. So keep in mind, Oliver, you guys know it's a broken unit. It's not very balanced. So if we leave him be, and Kaki dies on us, what's gonna end up happening is we're just gonna get soloed by the Oliver. So we need to somehow kill this Moore ASAP. I went for Moore there because I knew he was gonna go for the Death Broken target instead of my Kaki. If I can just stun this thing right now, that's huge. I think that's the game-winning stun. Legit. Game-winning stun. Because now I can kill this, and Kaki can solo. There's no better chance than this to show that our draft style was so good. So now I'm gonna go for... Oh, I really want to do S2, but I'll use it later when I can actually get a kill. So I can get the Endure buff. Right now, I'm more concerned about... Oh my god. About life stealing so that I can do S2 next turn. Had we got just one more rotation, we would have won that. So now that's what you call a lucky mother. He Death Broke a fire and then crit it. It's insane. So that's like one of the main frustrating things about this game. And unfortunately, guys, no matter how much guides you watch, how much money you spend, I'm not gonna hide the fact. I'm gonna tell you guys straight up, this game is, at the end of the day, there's a bunch of RNG aspects and it's just gonna rail you over for no reason. Although the opponent, sometimes they're playing dumb or they're autoing and not even trying, they'll still beat you because at the end of the day, luck will still play a crucial role, right? That doesn't mean luck plays a role in every single match, but trust me, in the moments where you least want it, it does strike you, and that's what creates a tilt. So that's one of the things you also want to avoid as a beginner player, as any player for that matter. Tilt is a no-go. Now that we've ranked down to Fighter 2, let's see how our opponent changes. So far he has Dominic, which is already a crazy strong unit. Once again, I'm bringing Kaki, because he doesn't have too strong of a water threat. And I might look at it as me getting first turn this time. Kind of sucks because I have Wusa here, which doesn't synergize too great with trying to go first because he is a sitting unit. But I think it's always good in this game. I always tell you guys, grab first turn in Summoner's War. It's the highest winning play. Wow, so much win. This guy is just asking for full fire. We're gonna do Carcano. And we need one more fire threat because we can just ban the last pick at that point and hope that these fire units will be able to carry against whatever he's got going on. I need something tanky that's high threat, and I don't have anything like that. So I think I'm just gonna do Verd, because Verd is still a good counter to Chomp overall. And once again, our brain is locked onto the thought process of we are trying to use fire to carry against wind. So at this point, he went wind against triple fire. And you're sitting there going like, WTF, bro? And you should be, because that is not how you draft. Whatever the case, Sierra, she gets a free pass because her bomb ignores elements. She doesn't care about fire. It always does the same amount of damage. So I could ban this thing, but I could also ban this thing by that point. Yeah, you know what? I'm banning Dominic. Fran is simply not like that scary enough of a unit to justify a ban for me. And Dominic, that's another unit that really doesn't care about elements. He ignores that whole rule of, you know, I have a stronger element than you, so I should be having no threat from you. No, Dominic will eat you alive. That's how the game works. So now that we've taken out that liability away from the match, we just need to see now, does our game plan work? Will fire prevail against a bunch of wind? So he did strip a bunch of my fire, but look at that damage, guys. Crazy stuff right now. Just so good. We're gonna do S2 here because we see that Vertihal is gonna move. If Sierra bombs and kills one of my fire, what can I do, right? At that point, it was just bound to happen. All I know right now is as long as I kill the Sierra, I... Oh! Dude, well, we're losing this straight from just this game being so not early game friendly. We won draft, but we lost because anti-logic. I talked about luck earlier. Wind critting fire. Stuff like that. Inconsistent skills like Chompong skill 2, landing on fire. All of those things, guys. Sometimes I do wonder why so many people enjoy RTA and why I make guides for RTA when at the end of the day, even if you learn the right stuff, you're not a winner. I guess this is like more of a me relating to you guys now. It's like me as a late game player relating to all the poor early game players out there. You know, there's people that are actively unhappy about the pay to win aspect of the game. And guess what, guys? I'm with you guys. I don't support the pay to win aspect of this game. Neither does that guy. He's like, you know what? I feel bad for you. Take a win. I feel sorry for you guys. It's not easy, okay? It's not easy to get into this game. It's so hard to get to the point of even being considered late game by most of the players. And RTA is just the biggest mess. Just the worst mess that possibly explains the state of this game. But you know what? That's why I'm here for you guys. I'm trying to relate to you guys and help you guys in whatever way I can. And I'm gonna try my best once again with all the disadvantage and runes, monsters and whatnot. I'm gonna try my best to win this. We're gonna go with heavy threat. I like Vertihal for the most part. I'm gonna bring in an Odin here because I just wanted to try it. It stood out in my eyes, and he has a very low threat team. So by bringing more threats like this, I do feel more comfy. He brought another anti-threat, just a sitting duck, which is Triana. So right now I'm thinking of banning the water martial cat. Other than that, going Bastet, Vigor, something like that seems really good. Vigor brings anti-crit to deal with units like Mina. Bastet, she's a unit that provides overall attack buff when we have two insanely high damage units here. So all the synergy is where we are looking for. I am just gonna ban Water Cat and let him do his thing. If he's scared of my damage and he wants to ban whatever and try to sustain through 4 really sitting units that are just meant towards surviving, well, guess what? You do that. Because that is not a good style draft, guys. You never want to draft like this guy did here. Do not draft 4 weak units. Always try to draft hyper carries and big threats. In my opinion, that is going to be some of the higher win rate drafts that you can do in this game. So that Fran is incredibly fast. We can suspect that it's on a swift set. Now let's see the damage of Cocky. Blade Slaughter. It might literally slaughter this guy. Okay. A lot lower than I expected, not gonna lie. But it is because this guy has pretty good runes, right? His runes must be better than your average fighter rank player, which is why he has so much HP. We need to kill the Hwadam first, because I can use my Cocky multi-hit to kill Hwadam. So you need to keep drawing a thought process in your head of what you want to do throughout the match. What are you killing? What is your purpose? How do you win this? Right now, I'm just going to spread some Death Break on Fran because she seems squishy. At this point, we can just go for Fran. Earlier, I said wow, and I was a bit surprised because the Fran actually turned out to be on Violent Runes, faster than our Swift Bastet. But anyways, now, we are looking to use multi-hit to kill him through Triana. So I'm going to do Curse the Beautiful. I believe Hwadam, he does kick in and save the Fran, right? But he died. He actually just straight up noped out of this game because he ended up taking too much damage for the sake of Fran, and Bastet finished him off. So that's kind of funny. And now we are finally seeing a match where our strategy is starting to work. Even with not the best runes in the world, we're showing that as long as you know what you're doing and you have a solid plan, you can steal wins like this even at a disadvantage. And now he's trying to go for a Halphus solo, but that is not too likely to happen for this guy. And I'm going to make sure it doesn't happen because we have heal block here. We have so many resources to help deal with that. I'm going to save my skill 3 for later because I want to combo it for my Odin to be able to get a one-shot clean angle onto the Halphus. We missed the crit there, so we didn't kill Triana, but we have Blade Slaughter, so we're still fine. Halphus, he is incredibly weak to heal block. So now, I'm gonna heal block this thing. Okay, it seems like he's gonna move in front of Odin. So instead of doing that, let's just do a bunch of damage and set up for the one-hit kill. The stun happens, so we don't get that anymore. Then, change of plans. It's okay, don't panic. We just need heal block now. Didn't get heal block.
Would you say it's time for everyone to panic?
We still don't need to panic. We're just gonna do skill 1 here. Our plan still stays the same. Our objective is to heal block this thing, and logic says as soon as we get that, we win. So we did go 1 wins and 2 loss. So I think a perfect way to have a recap over this video, my first impressions on playing RTA on a Fighter 1 account, guys. This is not a Fighter 3, that's a fake glorified rank. That's just because it's the beginning of the season. We gotta go off the rank previously, like Fighter 1, Fighter 2, Fighter 3, that's the range for this account. If you're in that zone, obviously the tips I gave you in the beginning, you want to still apply that so that you have a good selection, just a thin selection of actual units you're gonna use. But even if they don't work out, don't worry guys, you're not alone. Even me, who's capable of playing at the highest levels, I can't win when the game doesn't let me. It's not your fault. Just keep farming, okay? Keep farming, and I'll see what I can do next time to help you guys progress from here onwards. So anyways, guys, this was a really genuine, heartfelt guide from me, so I hope it was helpful. Peace out, guys.